Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It is Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. This is Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action at the cryptocurrency market, including the Bitcoin price chart. And where are you? The altcoin market. And of course, maybe we'll take a peek over there at the XRP price chart today. As we get ready for the United States stock market to open up here in the next 2 minutes from now. Of course, we'll peek over there at precious metals like gold and silver and the US dollar currency index, or the DXY. It is Wednesday. Last Wednesday, it didn't feel so great doing this. But you know what? We can do it today and feel good about it. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
It is Wednesday, my
All right, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Markets in the Morning, everybody. This is more, Markets in the Morning is more of a fun activity that we do. We have been doing a lot of videos now during the summer, but trying to, still sneak in those Markets in the Mornings on Wednesday, and we like to have a good time on these days. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button. It's the number one way to support the channel. But let's go ahead and dive on into what's been going on. I feel rusty every time I do these now. Like I'm forgetting stuff. Like we've done so many of these, and now it's like every week I feel like I'm forgetting something. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive on into what's going on in markets right now. Obviously, it's been a wild week. A lot has happened since last Wednesday, man. The whole President Trump thing, all that happened since the last, like the Russel hadn't taken off yet when we got together last week. We were just sitting there talking about it in every video, and even in the Markets in the Morning, being like, "This is going to be the thing we talk about every day. You guys are going to hate me." And it was the very next day that Russel ended up starting to break, and of course we've seen crypto follow suit along with it as the Russel has been moving up. So we'll take a peek at those different things. But, Bitcoin sits up here at $64,000, 64,700. It's almost done a 702 retracement of its current drawdown that started there back in early June. So getting back up into retracement levels there for Bitcoin. As for XRP, of course, the Twitter worlds are going bonkers over this. It is a very incredible reaction to see that happening. Of course, it happens when it happens right as the Russell starts to get itself going. We could see XRP starts to get its way going as well. So we'll come back and talk more about XRP soon. Of course, we've talked about this in videos. We've talked about this on Twitter. XRP versus the entire total market cap of the cryptocurrency market, how it had reached historical extremes. The bearish divergence had emerged there. We pretty much had to talk about this for months on end. There you go. Now this thing has really started to get some motion going with it, with XRP outperforming the entire market, which, as you can see again, up 8% today versus total 3 up about 0.5%, total 2 1/3%. And the total market cap of crypto, where are you? Flat to slightly down, as Bitcoin is slightly down. So XRP, of course, outperforming the whole market currently right now. Total 3, nice bounce there, and still maintaining it. Of course, RTY shows up right when it's supposed to. This is the big thing, of course, right now, right? We've watched the Russell 2000 get into a crazy breakout that started on Thursday and straight line up. That's how we have seen expansions happen before. That is how the expansion happened back in 2016 into 2017. Essentially just went into a straight line up into expansion. So we've watched prices move. Everything's been happening kind of right on schedule, but we still have kind of maybe it's the last boss or the last two bosses still to fight against. Of course, we've gotten right up here to the last retracement level right now. Yesterday, we got through the 702 retracement. Now there's that last Fibonacci retracement still sitting right here above us. So that's the big one, the big boss battle that's going on currently right now in markets as the Russell's been taking off. And I'm certain everybody's been paying attention, but in case there's like 4 people who are tuning in who don't, the Russell represents 2,000 of the smallest companies in the United States stock market. The big concern, of course, that's been going on in these markets for so long and why crypto hasn't expanded is because it's been an incredibly consolidated market into the Magnificent Seven, essentially. It's been just a couple of stocks that have been holding up the whole market, and everybody else has been punished. And what we've obviously seen happen here recently is things like Nvidia pulling back, Meta pulling back, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, Netflix, right? And that it's spreading out into the rest of the market. And so we're seeing that obviously gets translated over here into crypto at the same time because all of crypto's bull runs have taken place during broad-based rallies throughout markets with the Russell 2000 as well. So this is fantastic to see. Of course, we need to see the follow through to get our way out of here. Still, it isn't expansion yet, right? Breadth is opening way up. We're seeing that translated into crypto, but we still have a couple of steps left before we can get ourselves into actual expansion to happen in here and this not just be a massive retrace, right? So that's the big thing we'll be watching for in the coming days. Moving forward, days and weeks, trying to get our way through here and get this thing into an actual expansion. It's been a wide open of breadth. Breadth has just surged and I've been posting those tweets over there on Twitter and showing it in videos of the S&P heat index, right? Let's see if it's not going to show it today. But, that's why we've also seen crypto do really well at the exact same time. And it's no surprise. I know we talked about it for a long time. It got to the point where it was 7 months talking about it. And boom, we see it happen, and boom, you're immediately seeing things like this start to happen in crypto. This is the strongest rally for XRP that we've seen in years. You had this one right here, which of course was July 13th when XRP was deemed not a security in the courts. It's a 4-hour insane candle, but as for an actual sustained rally, that's the strongest one we have seen in quite some time, and exciting to see. I would be very surprised if we don't see some serious corrections come out of this thing. I do think it will happen. But it hasn't yet. So, just based off of this thing right in here, you're getting into kind of your retracement levels right now. Right now, you're getting up near that 702, which sits at about 64 cents. But still, I would expect some volatility to show up in here, especially if we haven't had the Russell get itself into a breakout. Yeah, did I lose the Russell? Where were you? There you are, 2260. Let's take a look at it in just really tiny time frames, right? So that's our big boss up there. That's the last retracement level up in there. The next step is actual full-blown expansion beyond that. But right now, we're at the kind of the last one to sit there and bite our fingernails with and say, can we get through? It has only taken 5 trading days just to go from twiddling our thumbs to now being all the way up in here. And of course, crypto has just done phenomenal during that time. As for the DXY takes out its lowest prices that it has seen dating back to March. So DXY breaks down. That historical danger zone did end up being a bottoming or topping, whatever you want to call it, for where, essentially prices and assets kind of bottomed out, but this is where the DXY topped out, right? So 106, the danger zone marks the bottom, and then boom, down and away it goes in there. So that's a good thing to see. Again, this is one of the most complicated parts of this market right now is that gold is going up. This is against all historical, normality that we have had in the last 15 years of this giant bull run that has taken place in equities, is to see gold doing something like this. And of course, for us to have an elevated Fed funds rate. These are extraordinary times to see these types of dynamics actually playing out right now. It is truly a different phenomenon happening in there. But still, in order for it to be actual expansion, we still have a couple more levels that we have to get through before we could start hooting and hollering and truly screaming for joy. We're obviously doing the things that we want to do in here, right? On time. right? Everything's happening on time, looking good. Everything's happening on time, looking good. We just haven't gotten that one thing to say, hey, this absolutely is expansion happening in here. But again, touching on those things like elevated Fed funds rates, right? Fed funds, right? This is a certain different dynamic than we've seen if this thing does actually go into expansion in a moment like this. And then, of course, along with gold being up in here, this would be a totally different dynamic than what we've had for the last 15 years, which is, of course, the bottom of the great financial crisis. But 'tis what it is. We'll see if we can actually end up getting through in here. I've seen a lot of stuff of people trying to create reasons why this is happening. The shorts closing and stuff like that. But the thing is, we're obviously seeing a bid get caught over there in the cryptocurrency market after total 3 bounces right off of its 50-week moving average. So the whys, I'm not so sure of the whys that everybody's trying to portray over there on the interwebs. But one more level, one more level to start hooting and hollering. But I just wouldn't be surprised if there's some type of correction coming out of here. It's just been straight line up, and maybe that's PTSD. It could be PTSD from so many years of this stuff. Every time we get these straight lines up, what are they marked with? They come with corrections, but even in here, typically we do end up seeing them. So don't be surprised. A volatile ride ahead. But boy, could this be it? Could this be it? If this ends up being it, holy cow. I'm going to have to bring my daughter in here and say, hey, guess what? The big green line. All right, so there you go. That's what we got going on today. You got, the Magnificent Seven getting slaughtered. Netflix, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Meta, NVIDIA getting absolutely hammered in here. You got the Dow up. The Dow had a crazy day yesterday, like 700 points. That's definitely far different from the 2007 stuff happening in here. So back to the drawing board on that. But this is the big thing right here. Are we going to see true expansion happening in here? And the DXY, fortunately, given a good sign over here. But this is our big boss that we have to battle currently right now. And if so, it's going to be an epic sign over here for the cryptocurrency market, at least based on what we've already seen so far. The big discussions have constantly been breadth. We need to see breadth open over here in the market. We get the breadth to actually open over there in the Russell, and then of course we end up getting to see that, right? So again, none of the flip the switch stuff, none of the secrets on secrets, and what do people know? Ooh, what do they know that we don't know? It's it's one big trade happening in here. So that's the thing again to continue paying attention to, in my opinion, is going to be if this thing is capable of getting out of here, and if we can get out of here to see strength continue into actual expansion. If we get into actual expansion, then buckle up. It may be nothing but bull posting constantly for weeks, maybe months to come. But that, as you can see clearly, that it appears the slowdown of the Mag 7 has started, and an opening of breadth obviously has been happening. So truly an interesting time, just waiting for more follow through. Good to see the DXY falling, but still, this is still just our huge boss that we have ahead of us right now as we attempt to try to get into true expansion happening. We're not there yet, right? The breadth has opened. We are not in expansion yet. Can't lay the guard down. I think I posted it on the video on Friday of being like, this is exciting. There's been a huge move that has happened in here. But it's not like I can go fishing yet. It's not like I said, that's one of my favorite things to do, is like go fishing when we're truly going and everything is great and fine. And that it's not gonna be like that. It's still having to pay really close attention to what's going on in here until we can kind of get our way through here and get into actual expansion. Get into there. We'll do some daytime Tuesday, right? Tuesday at 12:30 in the afternoon fishing. Right, totally random, but that's kind of how it gets once you get into the actual expansion, and we're just not there yet, but we sure are giving it a fighting chance currently right now. So That's the big focus. Otherwise, Bitcoin over there at 64,800. XRP, just astonishing move happening in here. While it does, the total market cap of the entire cryptocurrency market loses its footing versus XRP as XRP starts to reclaim back some of the market share happening here in the market. Again, after these things we've talked about for a couple of months now over there, seeing the strength of the market versus XRP really start to fall in just a complete cross, just the beginning of this thing happening over here for the MACD to go into a flip or a moving average convergence divergence. So exciting time for XRP holders. Exciting time for sure. So we'll see how it can hold itself up here in the coming weeks. But I am going to sit here and just have the expectation of volatility in here currently right now. And the first thing we really need to see to start posting surging epic bull run ahead. We need this, right? First steps, right? Took out that range high that we've been stuck in for 7 months. First step, 702 retrace, taken out, last retrace, got to take it out. And then there comes the expansion. So that's kind of where we're at. We just haven't gotten to the expansion phase yet. We're at the last retrace phase. So that's the big thing we got to get through here to start hooting and hollering and screaming and saying it's happening and all that fun stuff. So otherwise, positive sign here from the DXY. The weird things, of course, are the elevated Fed funds rate and gold is not quitting. Truly bizarre. A positive thing in here that we do a lot of times notice in markets in the morning is when retail has reached extremes. And so I've got back end data that I can look at and see whether or not we're in something like that. Whether it's viewership or things like that on different websites and stuff like that. I'm not seeing those extremes. One other thing right now, we are 16 minutes into the live stream. If you look over there, there's 2,300 people watching. For those who have been watching markets in the morning for the last year and a half, we know when we reach extremes, right? Extremes tend to come and we have anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 people who are watching. So even with XRP right now at the current prices right here, like when we got to these levels right here, when this run happened in here, like on this day in particular, we were or over here, I can't remember which one, I think it was this one. We had hit over 4,000 people in here. And that's typically one of those signs that retail euphoria has set in and it's gone too high. When Bitcoin was hitting these levels back over here, the story was the same. We were getting 5,000 views in markets in the morning right in here. You can look over there right now. Doesn't seem like an extreme level to me. That's a positive sign to me that things aren't overcooked to see something like that. So positive sign. And unfortunately for those people, when they do show up and when we do have the 5,000 people in here and they're all excited, we have to be like, oh, by the way, you're late. So... but otherwise, it looks okay. I don't see insane viewership happening currently right now. But all right, there you go. I mean, it's good. I mean, typical markets in the morning is usually like 1,800 to 22. So 24 is a little bit up, but not too much. But there you go. Sharing a little bit of extra data there with you. Looking over there at the news and what's going on out there in the universe, the S&P 500 futures fall 1% as investors continue to dump tech stock winners like NVIDIA. Global chip stocks from NVIDIA to ASML fall on geopolitics and Trump comments. ASML bookings surge as AI chip demand boosts purchases of its critical semiconductor tools. Trump says Taiwan should pay for the U.S. defense. Mortgage refinance jumps to a 2-year high. Okay, there you go. Nothing really big going on in the news. Obviously, you had to have caught the news that happened throughout the last week because today, boring news day. The last week, absolutely, utterly insane. Bitcoin bulls eye 70K amid Donald Trump's rising chances of returning as president. Bitcoin could hover around the 120-day moving average. 120-day moving average. And the price may have the momentum to go up to 68K or even 70K. But we need to continue monitoring closely to the Fed policies. Market maker Flowdesk doubled down on U.S. as things look bleak. Now that bet is paying off. Okay, U.S. senator who called Bitcoin ideal choice for criminals was convicted of bribery. Okay. Cool. Over 36% of Mt. Gox Bitcoin distributed to creditors, but whales keep accumulating. Bitcoin price tag 66K. Can Bitcoin bulls beat out $100 million of asks or sell orders? Coinbase will not mention crypto in 5 years. Okay. Mt. Gox shifts $9 billion in Bitcoin. Market braces for impact. BlackRock's IBIT draws $260 million as Bitcoin ETFs notch 8th day of inflows. Pixelverse to put Pudgy Penguin character on Telegram minigame. What was that one game we saw last week that they kept showing on here? I don't know what was it. Li-Fi protocol attacked. 10 million drained. Polygon launches upgraded ZK proving system Plunky 3. Kraken and Tottenham Hotspur score big in crypto partnership. BlackRock's Larry Fink says he was wrong. Calls Bitcoin digital gold. Okay, literally nothing. No news whatsoever. Because it doesn't matter. What matters? That is what matters. And that's going to be our big fight now. This is the fingernail biting stuff. This is where our futures are dictated, guys. Look at the NASDAQ. Look at that. The Russell is up 1.7 points. The NASDAQ is down 370 points. Truly remarkable. Truly remarkable. And all that just screaming of breadth. You're watching it, man. You're watching it. Unreal. Okay, so there you go, Russell. On the RTY, there's a couple of different ones of these things you can look at in here. Let's make sure we got these things lined up appropriately. Let's go back to 1 hour. Will the 1 hour show it to me? It might not. Ah, jeez, come on, guy. So to make sure I have these on here perfectly. Looks pretty good. Okay. So 2,285.2 on the RTY. We can look at E-mini futures. Ryan was asking about this yesterday. There you go. The future E-mini trying, not quite able to get through. That's our big battle moving into these next few days is what we'll be paying attention to. We're looking for actual expansion. We're not there yet. We are seeing breadth open up wide open, but we are not at expansion just yet. So look at that. See this other stuff in here, right? Ford, Caterpillar, AMC, GameStop, they're all up. But your ones that have controlled the whole stock market for like the last 2 years, your Netflix, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Nvidia are all down. Let's see. Okay. I guess we can touch on that, right? I mean, just kind of simple in here. You can see that total 3 did bounce right off of its 50-week moving average in here. So a nice recovery happening in here. Again, a lot of the things we're going to be watching for is just to see if we do get an actual expansion to come from the Russell. So right now, current concerns, of course, are going to be these levels in here as we get back to them, which of course are going to be our retracement levels happening in here. This is going to be the big focus. For total 3, that's, in the around $700 billion range. So long as this thing, whoa, what's that? That's a little pop there for the Russell. Let's do it like this. Could we do, that's E-mini. We'll keep E-mini down here. We'll go up here. Okay. There we go. Magnificent 7 getting slaughtered with the NASDAQ down 382 points, nearly 2%, as the Russell is now going to take a stab at the 786 here live on the stream, it looks like. Here we go. E-mini futures are already through. And we're going to watch this for just a few minutes, right? The stream goes for an hour, so we got about 35 minutes left to watch it. But of course, this would certainly be talked about in tomorrow's video in the event that it happened. So there you go. There you go. All right. Anything else to talk about in here? No, Bitcoin's now at 65. You at 65 now? There you go. Bitcoin's back to $65,000 as the Russell starts to rip. Total 3 now at 636 as the Russell starts to rip. DXY down at 103.69. XRP right at about 62 cents, which has been the ripper all week. We looked at that already. Total 3 now still shifting 636.29. Russell, here we go. That's going to be the big doozer. So this is the futures, E-mini futures. Here's the actual Russell RTY. Okay. Fingers crossed, everybody. Hit the like button. Thank you all for tuning in. All right. I think that pretty much covers it of what's going on in the markets. We obviously have seen big moves and breadth openings in the market since the last time we did a Markets in the Morning. It was the topic that we talked about in every video for 2 weeks. Not yet. This is the topic we've obviously talked about every day. And of course, once it has opened up, what have we seen? We've seen crypto get ripping, and especially XRP. All right. Do we give it the frog to give it the motivation to get through? Let's go.
It is Wednesday, my
Hey, all right, little pop through there. We'll see if it's sustainable. The frog gave it the juice it needed. Okay. All right, there we go. Nice little move there. Come on, sustain it. All right, 637 for total 3 now. DXY 103.67. Again, gold still just doing fine at 24.80. Bitcoin back above 65,000 at $65,200 as the day gets going. XRP at 61.7 cents. So just an absolute ripper week for XRP, of course. But it doesn't seem like the market is too overly excited right now. So that's a good thing. I wonder why. The market's not overly excited. Okay, there you go, guys. Well, I mean, we'll take it, right? Maybe it's all of it. This little PTSD. I don't trust anything. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Not quite through there. I wanted more frog. All right, guys, we're going to hop into the chat. That's what's going on right now. Obviously, the whole week has been absolutely crazy due to breadth opening up there in broader markets. That's translated over here into the cryptocurrency market. The DXY has been falling. We've seen the Magnificent Seven getting obliterated over there. You see the NASDAQ is down 356 points to start off the day, while the Russell is up and the Dow is up. Just crazy town stuff going on in here. But obviously, we're in the big fight this morning against the last retracement level here for the Russell. So the Russell has gone all the way back to the final retracement. We're trying to get through the final boss right now to try to take a true stab at actual expansion. As of right now, we're in retracements. We're trying to get through here. We need to get through, and then we need to go fight for the real expansion. If we go fight for the real expansion, game on, it's on. We'll put surging and epic and rocket ships and everything in titles and all that good stuff if we can get to that. But right now, this is the big Mamma Jamma fight currently right now. What a week, man. And then mix in all the crazy president stuff that happened in the middle of that, too. That's just unreal. But okay, let's go ahead and hop into the chat. There was some crazy stuff that happened before we even get started. Gator, I saw you drop the 20 memberships, brother. Thank you very much, man. Sunny Trin became a new member. Thank you so much. Maddie B, member, 18 months. We appreciate you being with us every step of the way as XRP family goes to the moon. Love from England. Thank you very, very much, you guys. And again, Gator, thanks, man. Just super generous, brother. Jim, member for 7 months. Welcome. 7 months. That's great, man. You got the little heart and the little emoji. Thank you. AE says, hey, BCB, you projected XRP price of 7 to 10, not adjusted for today's inflation, but also considered a 20 plus price if ETH sees a new all time high. You're still in that same mindset. Like I've said, not everybody always wants to focus on could we see 25, right? I can tell you right now, when we're like, if we get to 7, 8, 9, $10 stuff like that, I'm selling 65% of my XRP. There's just no question. That's what I'm doing. Y'all are gonna hate me. People are gonna be screaming on Twitter, oh, you sold too early. It's fine. Like that's just where I'm doing it. All right. So if it goes beyond that, let's go. But still, nothing changes. And we got to get to the first one first. We get to the first one, then we can start talking about other ones. But that's still the first one that's got to get hit, guys. We're not even at a buck. Stop thinking about 20s. Get through a buck, right? But thank you very much, AE. Dunerm, LFG, thank you for all that you do. BCB member for 8 months. Thank you very much. And Jesse says, it is Wednesday, my dudes. Thank you very much, Jesse. Member for 1 month. Ryan Rendon, my man, gives out 5 BCB memberships. Thank you, man. Man, he's a member for 47 months. Dude, that's 1 month shy of 4 years. Time to get Froggy up in here. As the wise green one once said, let us go. Romaine. Thank you, Ryan. If you don't know this, I've met Ryan multiple times. Ryan, how many times have we met in person? I think 3, right? 3 times. I've even played disc golf with Ryan. Wigmapool, 182. That's an OG right there. And I don't trust that 22 months. I think you've been around a lot longer than that. Was it Unicorn Fairy Dust Puppet Masters God of the simulation that turned Trump's head 1 centimeter and saved this market? I believe. It's remarkable. I followed that stuff as closely as possible. I try to not talk about politics, guys. It's none of my business to be using my platform in any way to try to be persuading anybody of any type of political stuff. It's like, dude, like you have your own life. You have your own things that are important to you. Who cares what I say? I'm not here to influence. And the reality is you're not going to change anybody's mind politically, right? So just stay in your lane, right? That's just something that I don't do. But that was crazy. I've watched that thing a lot. How it was just at the last second he turned his head. That's just unreal. Amstolovic. Whew, sorry if I slaughtered that. We thought we were expecting a baby girl, and it turns out it's a boy. Should we name him Gary? Thanks for all the pick-me-ups and reassurances. Boy, that's one way to say you're disappointed in having a boy, is to name him Gary. No, name him something good. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. And congratulations. Jesse Gulick, Wednesday, my dudes. Thank you, Jesse. Consumer mentality with super chat. Thank you very much. Jonas Fugalis, is XRP giving us a hug, guys? No, it's not going to give you a warm hug. It's not going to cuddle you to bed at night. It's going to torture you. Only OGs will know what that means, or people who watch all the time. Thank you very much. Dilkansky, keep it up. Dilkansky, man, he's the man. Airplanes in Antarctica, man. Thank you. Luck, hey BC Baker. Where do you pull to review the XRP cap chart? The falling one. I can't find it. Oh, I have to make that myself. Yeah, so if you want to make this yourself, you just type in total over XRP USD. And you get that. It won't have all the lines on it and stuff that I've drawn on here and everything like that, but it'll look like that. Happiest little place in the galaxy. Member for 9 months says, what if XRP moves first this time? Well, we've been talking about this a lot, that, confirmations or something that Bitcoin actually would expand or the cryptocurrency market would expand. I'm not sure if you've watched the last 5 videos that have been put out. That is what happened right here. Well, you just heard the dog. If you're wondering how he's doing, it's fine. Okay. Right. So before expansion actually ended up taking place for Bitcoin, there were some signs that came ahead. Right. So like I put out a video, I believe Monday of last week, and we're trying to talk about confluences. Right. We talked about confluences of things that happened at bottoms, confluences of things that happened back at the retraces for the cryptocurrency market, and how it is such a mixed bag right now that it wasn't like lopsided with confluences that are happening in the market currently right now. But one of the things I mentioned in there is the thing that would kind of lean it heavily one way would simply be if the Russell did break out, right? So we got the Russell to break out, or to at least move, right? Still trying to get through into true breakout. But one of the signs that came into the market, where are you? I've lost you. Is that there were some early leaders in the altcoin market, and XRP was one of those early leaders that came in the market at that time. So we've been talking about that. So when you say, what if XRP moves first this time? Well, that is kind of what happened back in here. So that it adds an additional confluence, right? That something like that could happen. But obviously, we still need quite a bit more to look to the rest of the market. Like if you're going to use it as a signal for the rest of the market, there's still quite a bit more that probably needs to come out of here. And not only that, this thing's got to get through. Right? It's in that big fight right now. You're the GOAT, BCB. Are your bags packed yet? Oh yeah, they're all packed. XRP is now battling with a huge TL from 2018. Oh, we're talking trend lines? I don't see any 2018 trend lines. But yeah, I mean, trend lines are trend lines, right? They're whatever. This just proved the evidence, right? Like for anybody out there, this again, I'm just fortunate. Like every video is really talking about this stuff ahead of time, right? And then look who takes the lead, the Russell. Look who follows behind, right? It's an opening of breadth. Now we look to see not only can we only open up breadth, but can we go into true expansion now? That's our big decision that we're trying to get to currently right now. Wow, NASDAQ down 431. Consumer mentality. The gold price keeps going up. Is that bad for the market? Maybe this was earlier on the stream. No, I think we already talked about it. This is a completely different phenomenon to look for the last 15 years of everything that has happened in markets. For this to occur with an elevated funds rate and for the markets to do this, this is totally wonky stuff to happen. Meat man. If a typical moonshot lasts for 45 days, what levels need to break where that count would begin? Well, I mean, you could sit there and 45 days. I mean, I wouldn't start counting 45 days and that's your strategy, right? For example, the end of 2017, early 2018, the XRP bull run lasted 23 days, right? The one prior to that, I don't even know how many days it was. Let's go look. That's 61. right? Even if you want to be generous and go all the way back here, 27, I just wouldn't, I would not sit here and have a countdown starting at 45 days and saying, hey, that's how we're going to do it. And first of all, you need expansion here first. Before you even start thinking it's a bull run, yeah, this does need to happen, right? Martin Kelly, another great newsletter over the weekend. Coinbase on the weekly looks like a potential cup and handler. Any thoughts? I'm still learning TA. So the thing I have about Coinbase is it hasn't expanded either. That's been a concern for crypto, pointing to that as well. It did the exact same thing everything else in the market did, right? It got back to its 702 Fibonacci retracement and then stuck. And it's been stuck in this range since late February, early March, unable to get through its retracement levels. So this is another one you can add to your list of looking at, right? If you're looking at the Russell, you want to look at Coinbase. If Coinbase gets plowing through here, this, is no longer just a retracement happening in here anymore. But people will make cup and handles out of everything, right? You could go back here and call it a cup and handle right there, right? Right, cup, and there's my handle. And then you'll create a new cup and handle and a new cup and handle. I wouldn't necessarily pay attention to something like that currently right now. I think the biggest thing that overrides it all is that this is the peak of the market, right? This is November of 2021, right? This is when they do their IPO, sells off into the IPO. This is the peak of the crypto market, right? And then now it's gone back into a retrace here. So this is kind of where the expansion levels all take place in here. So this is battling up against the resistance. It's the same thing we saw with Solana. Solana got back to its 786 Fibonacci retracement. Ethereum got back to its 786 Fibonacci retracement. Right now, we have the Russell at the 786 Fibonacci retracement. So we've got everything right now trying to see if it can go. And it looks like the Russell is going to struggle now at this point with the NASDAQ down 470 points. Holy guacamole. Magnificent 7 obliterated today. But crypto doing okay. Dr. Ty says, imagine being me who lives 20 minutes away from that rally, and I just had to shelter in place 2 weeks ago due to another potential pew-pew. Time to leave it all behind and enjoy this beautiful market. You don't really hear that before. It's time to stop touching grass and go back to the beautiful market. But Martin, man, thank you very much for the newsletter compliment. It was fascinating to see that how that breadth opened up and recognizing it so quickly. But yeah, no, as for like Coinbase in particular, I would just be watching exactly what happened, what's going on there in regards to retracements happening on there. Okay. Technic sent me the trend line, I guess, that everybody is watching. Eventually that trend line's gonna break. So, I wouldn't, trend lines eventually break. This is what the question was. Oh, hasn't that been broken for a while? I don't know. Horizontal trend lines are meant to be broken. Dr. Ty, thank you, brother. GSML, for by the grace you've been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. Have a great summer, brother. GSML, thank you very much. You too. Yeah, we talked about those things as well. That let me take a sip of my drink real fast. How much of your life is like a butterfly flapping in the wings? It's the simplest things that end up happening that actually dictate the majority of your life. For example, with Donald Trump turning his head just a slight bit altered the entire path of the future. But there's other things too. Like when I was a teenager and I met my wife, I had invited a friend over. We were teenagers. I'd never invited him over to my house before. And he actually had never came over to my house ever again. It was just this one time I invited this one guy over, and I don't remember how old we are, 14 or 15 or something like that. And I'm like, hey, hey, bro, you know any girls' phone numbers? And he's like, yeah, I know this one girl's number. We'll call her. It's like, oh, dude, let's do a 3-way phone call. Okay, we call this girl, and my wife happens to be with this girl at the time when we call. And then, I get her AOL screen name and all that stuff. And here we are, I don't know, 20, 30 years, 20 years later, married with kids. But if I had never invited my friend over that one day, that never would have happened. And my entire future would have been different had I not invited that one friend over that one time, who I never had over ever again. It was pretty crazy. But anyway, yeah, it's God's hand working, right? All right, Crypto Keeper, are we going to be rich, Mr. Backer, sir? If Russell breaks out, there's a chance. If Russell breaks out, there's a chance. Elohim, oh boy, Elohim, I am new member. Welcome. Gush in God. Okay, is what? Can you please explain to me, like I'm 5, what exactly drives the XRP price? My dad keeps bugging me about it. Yeah, no problem. So what happens is the price goes up because people are buying it. And why are people buying it? Because the price is going up, which causes the price to go up, which causes people to buy it, which causes the price to go up, which causes more people to buy it. That's it. So, there you go. What are we at? 46 minutes. All right, cool. I think we'll kind of get to a conclusion here pretty soon. Obviously, the big thing we're watching for, we just can't quite get through that retracement as of yet for the Russell to see a shot at going for expansion yet. But of course, as risk on has started to go, we've seen that translate over there into the crypto market. You can see the Mag 7, the liquidity is pouring out of the Magnificent 7 as the NASDAQ is down 460 points today. DXY is down to 103, XRP at 60.67 cents. So I won't keep reharping on that. It seems likely there'll be some volatility here, but just expect it. I'm expecting it. So, all right, there you go. Bitcoin 64.8. Dr. Ty says, is it time to get a new dog and name it Russell 2000? You only do that if it gets through, right? Otherwise, you may resent that dog forever if this thing fails here. So don't do that. All right. Stacy and Rob, 1977. What's up? So, all right, there you go. That's what we got going on today, guys. It's all eyes on this thing now. Again, not expansion yet, but we've obviously seen the breadth open wide up. You can see the NASDAQ getting slaughtered. You can see these things getting slaughtered. I mean, there's, dare I say, the popping bubble happening over here on the Mag 7 right now. It has been this market has been 100% held up. These indexes have been 100% held up by NVIDIA, Meta, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, and Google. And they are now in the slaughterhouse with the NASDAQ down 2.25%, 450 points. As the Dow and the Russell are holding themselves together, it seems that trade could be coming to an end pretty soon for those guys. So, all right. That's what we have currently right now. XRP above 60 cents. We haven't seen that since back in the earlier part of April. Bitcoin trying to fight at $65,000 right now. The biggest thing, of course, we're all watching for, at least me, everything, is paying attention to what happens right here at this retracement level over here for the Russell 2000 to see expansion. We've seen breadth open. We've seen great things happen, but we still are looking for expansion. So that's where we're at right now. So, all right, I think we'll wrap it up and get on our way. Corey gifted a BCB membership. Pi, it didn't show up in here. I saw it earlier, but it didn't show up in my list. Pi had gifted 50 memberships. It was amazing. Thank you. Hey, where's McMuffin at? That's a great. Wait, Froggy? Yeah, Froggy's usually the first one in here. Yeah, Pi, that was amazing. Thank you. All right, here we go. Let's hit it.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday,
Alrighty. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Exciting time for sure. Still have that big boss ahead of us there at the 786 retracement level for the Russell to see some expansion actually come in here to give us some confirmation this is more than just a big slinger. But it's sure as heck is looking good and like it should. So, yeah. Exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time, but at least our DXY has given us the right signal as well, getting a shoot to the downside at the same time. Looks like gold is having a pullback now, 24.65. I think it got as high as 24.80 here in the live stream. Bitcoin's still fighting at that 64.8, 64.9 as XRP sits above 60 cents today. All eyes on the Russell. I can't believe it. I mean, like last week when we were in here in Markets in the Morning, like every video I was just talking about this Russell thing and just like, we're stuck. And I know you're tired of hearing it. We've been in this and this range for 30 days right in here. We've been in here for 7 months. And then here we are 1 week later. What a change of the picture. And now it's just oh my gosh, can we get into actual expansion? Now that's what we're at. So when we come in next week, hopefully that's the case. And hopefully the news is like not so crazy. Not so crazy, man. But okay. Otherwise, I'll check in with you guys again tomorrow with a video. What's Up says, how often does it happen that the 4.236 gets broken? Dow Jones is doing it right now. How probable is it that markets are doing this in general? Could XRP do it too? What's your best case target? Okay. I saw where that went. This is, can we go to $100 for XRP is pretty much what this question is. Or can we go to $25, right? It happens a lot where you do poke above these things. And it's not a perfect hit, but it gets beyond it and then it falls back down below it. It does happen all the time. But as for putting a statistical probability number on, I do not have a statistical number for you. How probable is it that the markets are doing this all in general with an elevated Fed funds rate, with this strange breadth dynamic that has happened in the market right now, right? Where this is not a broad-based rally yet. This has been extremely consolidated into things like NVIDIA, Meta, Apple, Amazon, all that kind of stuff. And it just being a few selected assets. This is not your typical behavior of like expansion, right? So that's why we're all looking at this thing incredibly closely to see if we do get expansion happening in here, because the behavior we've seen up until this point is not typical of what you actually have in expansions. And it's not typical of what you saw back in 2012, 2016, or 2020. It is all very different from those 3 times, which of course is Bitcoin's entire life cycle and the cryptocurrencies and market's entire life cycle. This has been incredibly different. But as to poke above them, it happens all the time. Could XRP do it too? I get, anything is obviously possible. But like then you say, what's your best case XRP target? What you're trying to get me to do is to say, can it go above the 4.236 and can I give you a bigger number? Right? Yeah, of course you can go through the 4.236, $12,000 per XRP. Right? I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. I was very clear earlier. People are going to hate me. You're flooding my bags, all that stuff. If we get $7, $8, $9, $10, $11, I will sell 65% of my XRP and the world will hate me for it. That's just how it goes. Yeah, I know. When those words just came out of my mouth, I said, dang it. Eon says $5 is a more realistic target. I think that's a fine number. I think that's very realistic. The people who say $1,000 or $10,000, you know, it's the secrets upon secrets stuff, you know, not into that. So, you know, if the entire world's all assets were on XRP, $542,000 per XRP, you know, $5 would change a tremendous amount of people's lives. XRP dummy. I skipped Mo. Mo, what's up? Thank you very much, man. But I think that was a fancy way of trying to get a really high price prediction out of me, brother. I thank you, though. Mo, 419, missed the daily markets of the morning. I don't know if you remember, you gave my wife a shout out on Valentine's Day. Probably. Yeah, Valentine's Day was a good 6 months ago. I'm not really sure. Mo, I hope it worked for you, though. I hope it was like her biggest romantic fantasy that you could get BCB to say what's up. And may that be a lesson to all of you men who watch this channel. Nothing gets your wife going like a what up from BCB. Okay. XRP Dummy, thanks for everything you do, BCB. Love you and the whole BCB family. Happy Frog Day. All right, guys. Thank you very much, XRP Dummy. Thank you for the kind words. Guys, I appreciate all of you tuning in. Of course, the big watch now is as we're at the last retracement and looking for some actual expansion to show up in the market. Thank you all for being very generous. Of course, I appreciate all the super chats. Pi and Gator, you guys were crazy. Thank you very much. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'll catch you guys in next week in Markets in the Morning. But it's definitely an interesting time. Definitely an interesting time, especially even for XRP to see this thing doing this thing. You know how long this has been doing this? July of 2023. That takes a whole year, guys. 1 whole year. And look what has happened in the last 2 weeks. Okay. That are it. Caesar says, my phone shattered at the gym yesterday. Oh, man. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to go ahead and check on out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'll catch you guys in the next Markets in the Morning next Wednesday. Try not to forget anything here. We do frog. We do it high speed. All right, here we go.
It is Wednesday, my
Oh, yeah. All right. A couple other things. One, hit the like button on your before you head on out of here. I didn't ask that before 500 people jumped on out of here. Of course, I got to do this whole thing. Check out the most recent newsletter that was posted there just a couple of days ago, talking all about this breadth stuff. If you're not a believer that it matters, hopefully it opened your eyes here in these last couple of days that it does. But we go through a lot of the metrics in there. We go through indicators and stuff to show how that breadth is opening up in there and how it actually was a record setter or darn near it. Only 3 other times have come in relation to this level of breadth opening. And sure enough, when we do, what do we see? We see things like XRP start to rip to the upside when it does. Hard to argue that, right? Hard to argue it. Of course, check out bcbacker.com for over 40 videos and 11 hours of content teaching you how to set up your own charts and indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro, along with teaching you about the historical behavior of the market. Otherwise, see if I can do this still. See if I still have this skill set. Nope, I don't. Now we do. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.